the Vision Traction Organizer Workshop, and last time we did this was in May of 2023. It was the first time. I am volunteering to be the facilitator for everybody who's here and watching, so my role is to help move the conversation along, help them by asking questions, and then, as they were joking about earlier, if anybody gets off track or too far into the weeds, then I will gently pull them back so that we can stay focused, because it is a lot to get through in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So that's how I'm here to help. The reason a facilitator is important is because, for example, if Lisa was having to be the facilitator, it makes it harder for her to manage, but then also think and be innovative and discuss ideas if she's also trying to manage time and stay focused on what needs to get done. So that's how I'm here to help. And when we did this last time, we had a different GM, Mr. Alan Peterson. We had several different board members. I believe Chris Race was present. Mm-hmm. Was Linda?
Travis.
Also, no, Linda was present, I believe.
It was Linda and you and...
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So a little bit different set of directors and a different GM. So the goal was to have it again a year, exactly a year, and from that time. But the timing wasn't right, in between GMs, that sort of thing. I also think it's a little bit better to have it on the calendar year. It makes it a little bit easier to stay focused and on track with goals. So here we are. Let's dig into it. So I'd like to go through the VTO from last time. Just as we did before, starting with the core values. It should go a little bit faster because last time everybody had to come up with the values. I'd like you guys to review it, and if there's anything that isn't working, or we can have a quick discussion about what's working, where you've seen the values set in place, maybe what's not working, and if anybody does have anything that they'd like to change, now would be the time for y'all to discuss that before we move to the next section. So the values agreed on by the group from last time are accountability, communication, continuous improvement, and integrity.
Are we live streaming right now? Excuse me. Are we live streaming? Oh, no, okay.
Well, it's off to the side of that, because we've had discussions in the past. I would like to change, or my opinion would be to change the
for the good of the fort.
For the good of the fort to, like, for the love of the fort, or
okay.
Or something completely different.
Yes. So that was something that was, I guess, a majority wanted added last time. Not a requirement. It's not really a value, but they felt that it was helpful to kind of bring the values together. So Lisa is proposing a word change for the love of the fort instead of for the good of the fort.
Or
it just seems more, because you can say anything is for the good of, I mean, I guess you could say it about love.
I don't ever see anybody here say for the good. I always say, I love this place.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a pretty, very heartfelt word. So I like that word.
I know it's a small thing, but...
Like Virginia's for Lovers?
Like what?
Virginia's for Lovers?
Their license plate had a heart, and their things that
Okay, this would be an example of off track. No.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're first. I should have little counters for how many times.
One mark per minute.
I have different ideas for the core values.
Okay.
So.
Fill it out.
I have it typed out.
I thought we were going to create new ones.
Oh,
no, we're discussing whether we can keep the old ones or create new ones.
Yeah. Ideally, you don't want them to change constantly, because you're trying to generate momentum, and with the core values, whatever you agree upon, you want to use those to make decisions throughout your organization. They're there to help you make those decisions throughout your organization, trickling all the way down to employees and volunteers. Like, you want everybody to kind of be on board. The idea is with the goals and the values that you're steering the ship in a particular direction so that you can gain momentum.
There's nothing in here about financial stewardess.
Okay. You don't have to tell me. You
but
work
there's
it out with them.
Yeah, I don't mind the accountability part, but I also feel like we don't have anything in here that has anything that has to do with service,
We
customer
do
service.
in the core focus, that's service to members and guests.
Okay.
Further
Yeah,
down.
you're just reading this for the first time, but we're,
And it's helpful if y'all remember, certain reasons
Yeah.
why you picked a value last time. I mean, feel free to share that with Charlena so she can understand. I did not have a chance to rewatch the video, but I want to say that I recall that, for example, accountability is across the board, and I
Yes.
think that's where the
And I have that on
last time.
Transparency, though, would be nice to add. Transparency and accountability.
Well, accountability encompasses that.
Not transparency. No.
I like putting growth on there, which you have on that, your core values. I like growth as a core.
Innovation and growth. I mean, after we just talked about the eco thing with Russell and everything today, I'm bringing more to the fore to bring in the revenue that we need, because obviously we're not getting it from just membership alone. I think innovation and growth for members, visitors, employees, I think that's important, but that's just my...
Yeah, no, and that kind of falls under continuous improvement, so we could
Just reword it?
reword it to give it a little more,
So innovation and growth, that would be continuous improvement. We have to be innovators. We have to come up with new ideas to bring in what we need and to make...
I'm not doing anything.
You are one of those people that sit in church and laugh.
No, I don't. You're wrong there.
I'll assure you he doesn't laugh in church.
I like integrity. Too, with continuous improvement, that could encompass also hospitality and tourism development as well.
Isn't the focus to be really narrow?
Yeah.
I think our marketing strategy kind of encompasses some of that.
Recreation and amenities, nature, wildlife, history. Yep, I have, yeah.
What
Heritage
did you say
preservation.
right before you started talking about that, about
Was it financial stewardship?
Oh, yeah, financial stewardship, because I really don't see anything on here like financial. I mean, a lot of it ties into financials, but we have to be stewards of our finances. So that means we have to look at our finances on a daily basis, monthly basis. We have to understand what is going to bring in money, what can we kind of brainstorm on, what the members would like, what's going to be good for the board, how can we change and bring innovation to bring in the revenue that we need, besides just saying, well, we don't make enough money in the membership. I mean, we're doing good right now with hunting and all the venues that we're renting. I mean, we rented out the gazebo. When was the last time we did that? We rented out the amphitheater. We rented out the commissary twice, the NCO club. So that's kind of what I mean, stewards of our financials.
I agree to add that.
I think stewardship is encompassing of other things too, right? So I do think it's a great value word. So it can be financial stewardship. We have stewardship of the land, right? Of the resources, all those things. So it's
It makes us take ownership.
So maybe not limit it to financial, but I see where you're going with that because I think it applies to other things.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that idea.
Stewardship of resources.
All resources.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I would encourage you to, like, as y'all flesh out the values, you're kind of defining them, but if we can keep them to singular words, because it makes it easier to remember. And then again, it's that reference point of, okay, these are our values. This is our decision. What do we agree our values are? Or if you are able to, in traction, you're trickling all this down through your organization. And so then, if employees can know, or even volunteers can know, like, these are our values, and then, just again, decisions being made all, on that, and goals all in the same direction. So.
Okay, so then, like, if you want to keep it down to one word, continuous improvement I like, but what if we were to say continuous development? Because we want to develop different avenues to bring in the tourism, the memberships, and also to bring
I like your innovation and growth.
Yeah? Okay.
Is that?
I have like 10 of them here.
We're sticking to 5.
I know.
3 to 7 is what's recommended. So somewhere in that sweet spot. So, and what we did last time for reference is, because they were starting from scratch, whatever ideas were had, we threw them up on the board. It's kind of like brainstorm. Like,
right.
Nothing's wrong, nothing's out of the question. You don't have to throw one out and decide on it immediately. I can write them all up here as y'all are throwing out ideas, and then we look at the board, and some of them are going to be similar, so they're synonyms, or they're very much alike, so pick the best one, that sort of thing. So that's how we kind of went through the exercise last time.
So if you want to throw out because you haven't been through it, well, you haven't. Did you bring a list? No?
It's up here.
If you have other ones you want to throw out there, and then we can sift through
I
it.
knew that was coming.
See, sustainability, that's a big one for me too.
What did you say? There's noise in the cheap seats. Sustainability, okay.
What else you got?
I also like, I know we have communication, but I kind of feel community engagement, to me, kind of encompasses that too, but also makes us understand that we want the engagement from our community. Not just anybody can say, well, I'm just saying anybody can say communication, but I think there's a difference between communication and engaging.
And for more than 3 people, right?
Huh?
And for more than 3 people.
I don't know what you mean.
There's some kind of underlying message.
Yeah,
there.
I understand that.
My brain is going through.
I already know what he's saying.
What email? Where's it at?
Did you have anything else?
No, other than just, I guess, the hospitality and tourism development, but we have that on here with recreation and amenities, so that kind of encompasses that.
Innovation and growth.
Yeah, I like that, innovation and growth.
Of the 4 that exist on the old VTO, accountability, communication, continuous improvement, is there any that you, and then integrity, is there anything that you don't like on there?
How could you not like that?
I like all of them.
I like accountability. I just think it sounds so harsh, though.
Okay.
It's damn important.
It is important, but I would think transparency and accountability. I have to have the 2 words.
Do you want them both together?
Yes,
they have to go together as a pair. Okay.
Well, but that limits accountability, I think.
Why?
I don't know. I just.
It can stand alone accountability. Transparency can stand alone too.
Because this isn't just for like us and facing the community. It's for FCSA and the employees and the whole. Correct?
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay.
And members should be able to hold everybody to these values.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it, I'm just going to ask a question, I don't know the answer, is it possible to be transparent without accountability? Does accountability as a word make you think that if you are accountable, like things will get done, things will change, where transparent may just be, well, here's what we're doing, I'm gonna show you, but I'm not gonna do anything. Like, if you don't like it, too bad,
Yeah, there's a difference between the both.
Right.
We see that exercise in justification all the time. That those that believe they're being accountable are not being transparent. It takes a real sneaky person to do that, and we've seen that. So I don't want to throw you off track here, but it's just an observation of mine that
No, you're correct.
by being held accountable, at least one way to do that is to be transparent.
But there are other reasons we're held accountable, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference then on the word, or do you think do you agree both should go together?
Well, we have 5 slots.
She said 3 to 7.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we can put transparency there along with accountability then.
Do you think that's funny?
Y'all are. I love how y'all are using the parameters to
their fullest
yeah, to their fullest extent.
Yes.
This is a smart bunch.
All right. If there's 7, you're required to memorize all 7. So I'll just say that. So you might.
Charlie.
And you know what I'll do with that? I'm going to have keys made that have each one on there so you can carry it with you.
You're going to buy them?
I'm going to have them made.
Okay.
Plastic ones.
Okay. All right. Back on track. You have to decide what the 5 and 7 will be. Anybody else? Memo? Lisa? John? Anything you don't like? Want to add or propose?
Are we gonna keep the 4 that are here?
Well, I like the idea, I mean, I don't know if anybody else does, but changing continuous improvement to innovation.
Yes, innovation and growth.
It sounds prettier.
Is it really critical to have just one word?
I just asked.
It's okay if you have more, but
Get on 3.
Because you don't want to make it too narrow, then you end up.
Well, I can't remember all that anymore.
That's why one word.
Give it those again.
We would make an acronym out of it.
well, have fun making an
Sustainability.
acronym when it's 7.
Are we gonna add sustainability on there or keep stewardship?
I like stewardship being an all-encompassing
Yeah.
word.
Okay.
And that works for all of us, you know,
Yeah.
just as
We are
members.
stewards. We are stewards.
You know, we're stewards of, well, right now, not my yard, but I keep waiting for architecture to show up at my door.
It's on the list.
Is it on the list?
Part of the
It's a
canopy.
good thing they haven't had to eat.
So transparent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's good.
That's
Love it.
Okay, so just to recap, and then was everybody okay with Lisa's recommended change for the love of the fort instead of for the good
Yes.
of the fort? Yes?
Yes.
The only thing I thought of was Fort first, but that might be too short for everybody.
Too many F's.
Fort, there's 2 F's.
Fort first. Say that
I
one
think
10
it's kind of
times.
corny, but
For the love of the fort or fort first?
well, definitely Fort.
Okay,
He's my contrarian.
I think you're outnumbered. I'm just gonna guess that. Okay, so then we have transparency, which is new, accountability and communication, and integrity from last time, which are okay to stay, stewardship, and then innovation and growth is replacing continuous improvement. Thumbs up, everybody?
Thumbs up.
I like that.
Okay. All right.
John, you didn't answer.
I do. I like it.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna jump down to the core focus section. So you'll take a minute to review that. I'll mark this up.
What section?
Core section.
Core focus is the next one.
Core focus.
Yeah.
Charlene, are you gonna, once she's done, you're gonna give us one of these in the email? The new one?
Oh, you mean me type it all up and
Well,
put it in an email?
You can whoever did that. I don't think it was me.
I think Brittany did it
I
last
typed it
time.
up. I typed it up last time.
Maybe the executive secretary.
Yeah, my new one that starts on Monday. So core focus. So preserving history, enhancing community, and driving sustainability growth.
Are you proposing a replacement of something?
No, that's what my notes were.
Okay, say it one more time.
Preserving history, which I believe we have this on here, preservation of history. Enhancing community, and the community's on there. And driving sustainable growth, that's not on there. Nature can go with enhancing community, because that would encompass our community, I believe. But that's just my
And
note.
by sustainability, you mean like we don't want to
Sustainable
bring
growth. Yes.
bring something on that we cannot maintain or sustain.
If we do any growth whatsoever, there's all the areas that we have to think about is the members, tourism. Can we, as a group, be able to take care of that? Or are we bringing in the money that substantially could take care of that by testing it out by the things we come up with, and in our innovations, which we're already working on some already.
Gotcha.
So there's two sections in the core focus. Which one are you proposing to change? Or your notes were just kind of like brainstorming in that section of the core
You're
focus?
talking about our niche.
Yeah. So you have your purpose, cause, and passion. So let's just go one by one. So what is the purpose of Fort Clark Springs Association? And last time it was agreed upon that it was service to members and guests.
I like that. I agree with that.
Let's keep that one.
Okay. All right. And then your niche, or niche, however you prefer to say it, preservation of history, nature, and community.
I think
So
you
you-
could
you-
take
in
the
your notes-
nature out and just put enhancing community and driving sustainable growth. But that's up to you.
Why wouldn't one of the purposes of FCSA be to preserve history?
It's right there.
It's right there. It's right here. It's under
Well, is
It's under
the
our
niche, is that like what, like if we were marketing, is that what you mean by that? Like what is special
Yeah, I mean,
about it?
so Fort Clark Springs Association is really unique already, right? So
well, it does
the
say
niche really
purpose.
comes into play, like if you're, let's just say you're an HVAC company, right? Like there's a ton of HVAC companies. So what is your purpose? We're going to fix, HVACs, install new units, all of that. And then what is your niche in the market? Are you doing anything differently? So it's a little bit of a struggle. I see where you're going, Tony, because we're
I do too.
so unique as far as, HOAs.
Well, I guess the purpose could be enhancing the community. Because that's what I hear from the members and from tourists and from people is, to fix the community up more, to work on the roads, to work on the venues, to, the service. But that's just, some of the things, I'm just thinking out loud.
And I'm trying to remember what was behind our service to member and guests.
Everything she just mentioned. Fixing the roads, making venues
Well, and I think it was more than that too, because it was also, because there's been contention between, trying to kind of heal the rift.
Oh, you mean with bracket?
No, within employees, members, guests, kind of that,
That's got a lot better.
yeah,
Yeah.
customer service, look into the needs.
That, and maybe I'm wrong, but enhancing, wouldn't that encompass that?
I think we're charged with preserving and enhancing.
I like that. Because it says purpose and cause and passion. And those two things, I mean, we want to preserve our history, right?
Yes.
So
We want to enhance our community, but,
Yeah.
and that means making the members feel more like they're in a community by having more things for them to do, like more guest speakers, more information about the wildlife. How do we preserve, our history? How do we communicate that to tourists so they can enjoy the history along with the members that live here, which is going to bring in revenue, so then we don't have to keep saying, oh, we got to raise the assessments, we got to do this, we got to do that. If we bring in the tourism.
like, for example, signage that indicates that we're open for business.
Yes, that was a good one. I like that because it really doesn't really say anything on the outside. Even though we have it all decorated for Christmas, the only nice sign is that one that I think Julie Moreno made. Was that who had the one with the pretty sign that's out there coming from Del Rio? Is that who?
No.
Who made that
Let's
billboard?
get back on track. Sorry. It's okay. Okay, so if we take out passion, because I think that's confusing. So your purpose, cause, service to members and guests. I mean, it's an HOA, it's a recreational community, and guys, correct me if I'm not using the exact right terms. So that would be service to members and guests,
Yes.
right? Okay, and then niche is going to be like you guys are talking about. I think that's more what makes you different, you're passionate about, that sort of thing. So that's where y'all are making a few minor changes. Preservation of history, nature, and community is what we had. So we suggested preserving and enhancing history, nature, and the community.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. All right, so what we need something to aim at so everybody can be focused in the right direction. So that's the 10-year target. Last time came up with full restoration of all common property, 2,500 memberships and 2,000 FRMs, which is family recreational membership. Correct? Okay, so that's that acronym. Family-friendly recreation, big city, that was in quotations, golf course, restaurant and bar, conference and event center, 75% hotel occupancy, pristine grounds. Okay, so this is, if you could have everything you ever dreamed of, ever wanted, best possible version of FCSA, and that's what y'all came up with, or that's what the group came up with last time, and some of you are here again. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Considering it's a 10-year target.
Anybody have any issues, corrections?
And a $500,000 emergency fund.
All roads repaired.
Let's get the fund first.
Yeah, repaving all roads.
Pristine grounds.
But that's
maybe
pristine
include-
grounds or fully
Or
restored
full
common property. Because
restoration.
in 10 years, it'll revert back to common property anyway. The roads will. How many years? 3, 4, 5?
I thought it was 2020.
8, 9?
2030 or 2050?
It was 20 years.
2030.
It was 20 years.
It's 2030.
And we're on our way for getting full road restoration of common property because we made more property.
Okay, so the one I used so far, our memo, was the 500K emergency fund.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm being conservative.
I suppose,
Where do we jump to?
10-year target.
10-year target.
Oh, you're adding that in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
well, if you want to.
I don't like the big city part of the golf course.
I think that was meant, John, do you remember, was that that it was just
The condition of
the condition of the course?
Everything being greener.
Yeah, everything being manicured, green, and nice, which obviously Max has done a great job moving towards that. So, but it wasn't like a rebuilding of the golf course. It was just more of a comparison of quality.
Right. So it's confusing. She's new, so she's reading it, and she's not understanding what was the intention last time, so maybe there's a better way to describe it.
Maybe what's a way to reword it? Just say quality golf course.
You can leave that in there. I know what you're saying now. I'm not sure why we have the phrase family-friendly recreation. Is that in addition to the memberships and FRMs, and that's just another?
No, I think that was more toward adding things that. I think there was discussion about there wasn't a lot for kids or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I think if you're going to have 2,000 FRMs, right, and you're going to sell those, like, what are you selling? And so there may have been some historical talk, like there used to be a teen center, or why would somebody buy an FRM? And so growing up for us, our parents bought one. John and I didn't live on Fort Clark Springs. It was the pool, and there was a teen center, and the trails is probably the reasons that our families own them. So if you're going to sell that many, what are you offering? And I think there was some discussion about some of those amenities being taken away that were maybe having some more family-friendly things. So correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I
that
think
was the
that
backstory on that.
Yeah.
I would say put additional family-friendly recreation, because we don't have them, I guess, so we would have to maybe work on brainstorming on adding some additional recreations for the younger kids. Because then that definitely would market to younger families if there were a few more things to do for the young kids other than just the pool. Definitely we have to brainstorm on that though.
We're dreaming, right? That's what we're doing right now. I would love to see the adult center turned into a full-blown membership building that would have everything from just membership
Usage.
There'd be a teen area, there's the adult area, you could fix the gym back up, you could move the membership offices over there so people are not standing in line behind a motel person mad at the fact that they got a violation letter. But it would be the hub of the community, I guess.
Okay.
That, to me, that would
I
be.
like that. The restoration of the adult center, create, if you did that, you'd essentially be creating the family-friendly recreation.
Yes, you can, because you can make this kid area, or let's just say young adults or kids, you can do an arcade, you can do, a whole bunch of different things.
Bar.
You can have a snack bar.
Tables on the
Tables, ping pong.
Because we actually just had a couple of young teens ask if they could go in and play pool. But the pool tables aren't playable.
They are. But they are for the adults market.
They used to teach ballet in one of the bigger rooms.
I think.
So would that be, is this okay how I wrote it, adult center fully restored? Would that be encompassing of what you're envisioning? Or,
As a member,
and you said something else.
Yeah, like
hub of the community.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of it would be like in some of the fancier, they have a clubhouse, and in the clubhouse for the members in an HOA, it has some meeting rooms for your clubs and your committees, and then it has maybe a little snack bar, and it has a place for kids. It has all those things in one place. Then I feel like we partially habitate multiple buildings.
Yes.
And so part of it's fixed up, part of it's falling apart. But if we could fully inhabit the adult center, for the members, it would be, and then you fix up the outside, washer toss, shuffleboard, however you
Cornhole.
cornhole.
You don't think that's included in full restoration of all community property?
It doesn't say community, it says common. It just,
Sorry.
no, that's
Common
okay.
properties.
It's true.
Well, are the buildings considered common? Yeah? Oh, okay.
You get very specific about the target result. You're strapping yourself to that specific goal. And are we trying to do that here?
No, but it would be full
I don't
restoration
know.
would be nice.
What are we trying to do in this little paragraph?
We are trying to keep it a little bit short and sweet,
Okay.
but you make a valid point. I mean, it is becoming, that idea, that concept for the 10 years is becoming very specific.
Okay.
I mean, it's great in a way because it's an amazing vision. You can paint a picture, but if you choose to do it, then the concept of the VTO is that now everything filtering down to 3-year goals and then 1-year goals is going to be driving you towards the 10-year vision. So
That's interesting.
you need to know where you're going and where to start aiming for it.
Now, is this 10 years from last year or 10 years from today?
Since we're
10 years
redoing
from
it
today.
10 years from today. Yes.
What we do with all the time.
Who wants to know the specifics? It's okay.
I think it's incumbent that it says it right there. Because then it leaves it open. Because what happens if we had a tornado and the community center's gone?
No, that's what we're gonna go for the tornado. That's the strongest building.
I'm going in the basement of the Seminole. I don't know about
Okay,
that.
okay, we'll check.
All right.
Tony makes a valid point as far as full restoration of all common properties. The adult center would be included in that. And
So then the conference event center, isn't that kind of specific also?
That is, I just don't know about that. I mean, event center, yes, but I don't, we could use any of the buildings as a conference. So,
And it's not, it's an and event center, so I mean, it could be a conference or an event center. Well, I think and, because we need a conference center and an event center.
Do we?
we need a conference center?
I think there was discussion about trying to ideas to bring in.
We were talking about taking like the commissary or whatever and turning that into like a, restoring it on the inside and turning it into a conference center. That was the discussion last time.
Their
Which one?
ideas.
The commissary?
Their ideas.
Yeah, isn't that right? Was it Seminole Hall or commissary?
I don't remember.
Seminole Hall you
specified,
can, not commissary.
a building.
Yeah, it was just,
I don't know that anybody nailed down the building. I think the idea is like, how do you bring in guests? How do you bring in traffic? How do you bring in money, right? And so if your goal is 2,500 memberships and 2,000 FRMs, well, how are you going to get people here to start selling those, right? And we've seen historically that people visiting, and I believe it was discussed last time, people visiting are the ones that are falling in love with this place just like we all did, and then they're saying, hey, I want to live here, right? They're visiting with their RV, and they're like, wow, this place is amazing. Buy a house, buy a lot, move here, invite all their friends here, then their friends are like, this is pretty cool, I might buy a place. And so we've heard stories of that happening. And so if the financial goal, 2,500 memberships and 2,000 FRMs, to bring in the incomes, we keep membership dues low, that sort of thing, well, then how are you going to get to that? So I think that's where some of the discussion was going last time. So Charlene, maybe that helps a little bit of where somebody had the idea of like the event centers, you know, conferences, corporate retreats, you know, renting the event venues for that purpose and bringing in guests. So. Okay, let's go through real quick, and if we have, so we can decide what we have everybody's agreement with. Full restoration of all common property. Is everybody in agreement with that?
mm-hmm.
Okay. 2,500 memberships and 2,000 FRMs.
I don't know how we get 2,500.
That's a lot. So here's
Well, I
what
mean, we
that
only
means.
have so much property.
Yeah.
This is what that means. 20 a month for 10 years. That's how many you'd have to get for 2,500.
But we don't only have $2,500 memberships available by via the property.
No. I
So
think that's kind of a large amount to.
right now we have 1,600, right? Because we have the boats, lot owners. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So maybe
Yeah.
we're left with, what, about 1,800, 1,900 lots total, maybe? I don't know, 2,000 might be exaggerated too, but
1,800 would sound more
1,800 would be,
realistic.
it would
I
help
should
the
say.
membership a lot because there'd be more money.
Yeah.
Does anybody have an idea of what you're saying is like, what is the actual capacity? So maybe people were guessing a little bit last time. What is the actual capacity? And then I wouldn't guess that you would ever be at 100% capacity. I mean, that would be awesome.
I think
But
when we discussed that, it was Mr. Peterson we were talking about, he was talking about, developing all the lots behind the airport.
No.
I think that's what how that discussion went, like the master plan of going all around the airport and all of that, and that's why the 25, like that would be developed, 10-year goal that's developed, and then all those memberships.
How many lots are back there?
Oh, there's a lot,
That's-
but
yeah.
we would need a pump station, and I mean, the
Yeah.
capital that it would take to develop that.
Yeah, no, I know, I just remember that, I think that's
That
why
was
we had.
So then 2,000 would be reasonable instead of 2,500?
More reasonable.
But just mathematically, it's more reasonable.
1999,
I would
Okay,
say
so-
1,800.
Yeah, I would say
more.
1,800 would be more.
okay, so we got two 1,800s.
1,800 is fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
reasonable.
fine.
Okay, and then I would just encourage, the last time I typed all of this up and I sent it back to y'all, so you'd have time to think about it and review it again, so maybe something to do in the meantime is to circle back on that number, if you can run the data and find out exactly what is carrying capacity, and then
Sure.
make sure that this number's, you guys are,
1,800 plus.
and then FRMs, Lisa, those are limited
To 2,000.
to 2,000?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, that would be awesome if you had every single one sold, but do y'all want to keep it that?
How many farms do we have right now?
I don't know.
100, about, give or take.
I did the number, but I didn't get I didn't get you.
With the 10-year goal,
We
it's
kind
like,
of hover around 100, 110, yeah. 110.
It would be great to know, I don't know if this is searchable, but what was the max ever?
we had that information at one point.
We did.
Would that be in the black system? Because Gabby could look that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
it,
want to say it was like 500 and something.
yeah.
Was the highest, like 530 or some
At the peak of
weird
it.
number like that.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that.
Okay.
Because, yeah. I mean, that's, for dreaming, sure, but that would be a lot.
Why don't we knock that down to 1,000?
I think that would be more reasonable.
Everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna run down the answer on
Yes.
the total that's ever been held, the record, if you will. Okay, so family-friendly recreation, and it was also proposed that it say additional family-friendly recreation.
Yes.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it sounds like we don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say additional, definitely.
John, Tony?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, big city golf course, so,
For some reason, I don't like that either.
I would say if it's confusing, then change it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You want somebody to understand it when they read it.
Yeah.
Quaint rural golf.
Pristine?
That's kind of
well, we
really
kinda got
hard to
Christina
do.
Desert style.
I would
Oh,
say.
God.
Well, if you talk to Max, he
Not
wants
on
the links
purpose.
style.
It already is a lean style version.
John, is there any, Tony maybe knows, or anybody's golfer, any rating for golf courses that we
Oh,
can
you know,
talk
there
there's
about?
are
definitely
ratings.
a rating.
There are ratings for golf courses.
We're rated.
Google.
We're rated as a. Aren't we?
Not friendly.
We're rated pretty high because we're hard, but I don't know about looks.
There is some kind of rating. I can't remember what they
You're the
call
golf expert. John?
Yeah, but I can't remember what they call a rating. But there is a rating. Some kind of. It's not like 5 stars, but it's something like that.
Yeah, they do scratch player, boogie, course rating, indication of the difficulty, which I actually have that in the drawer in there.
Golfers,
But
I have-
that doesn't.
Well, I wouldn't think that would apply to what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's not
No,
conditional.
I was thinking like condition, if
Yeah.
it was a conditional rating. To like if it was 5 stars and we're a 3-star, then maybe the goal would be we're going to be 4 stars or something like that.
a greener golf course.
That's what I was thinking.
Called a Green Acres golf course.
No, there's a word I'm searching for.
It is a hard word to figure out.
Majestic.
No.
Well, they do it by immaculate, great, good, fair, poor.
Immaculate, great, good.
9 or higher is immaculate, great is 7 to 9. I would love to, if we were to be realistic right now, because of the water situation, I know this isn't a great word, but I would say good, 5 to 7, because we don't know what the water situation is going to be like, and that will determine what the golf course looks like.
We're not getting the water from the well, we're getting it from the sewer.
But that dries out.
Mm-hmm.
The ponds do not give us enough water. Laughlin Air Force Base uses more water on their 9 holes than we do on our 18.
So you're saying good would be the word you would insert based on that
with the
rating?
Stars.
So then you're saying it's
5%.
presently fair.
It's presently
Improving it to
fair.
good.
Yes.
Good doesn't inspire me.
No, it doesn't. We could think of another word
I would
to
say
call
great.
it.
Can we go? We shoot for great.
Pretty okay. Well, we could, it's
I agree
it's
with
10
you.
years, we could shoot for great.
No, super great. Great golf course.
I don't know. Words are good.
All right, I'm going to jot in great. Y'all can ponder on that a little bit more, maybe do a little more research on golf ratings.
How about remarkable? Because it is unique. It has a creek.
How about unforgettable?
Okay, all right,
Let's
move forward.
stick with great.
Remarkable, huh?
I like it.
No.
Restaurant and bar. Everybody agree that in 10 years?
We're
I would
almost
love
there.
to have one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so might be less.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, and then conference and event center. Would you like to shorten that to event center, or does
I think
conference
event
make you
center,
uncomfortable?
yes, it
Suffice for
does.
now.
Because then it kind of is selective. Event could be a conference, it could be anything. I would rather, but that's me.
Is everybody okay with
That's
that?
good.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, 75% hotel occupancy.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Then you better get busy and start renovating.
I think we can do that.
Pristine grounds.
That's a really,
Sounds pretty high.
that's a high, that's like our memberships are paying $2,000 a month. I'm being realistic here. How about if we say,
There's a lot of
how about if we make it,
Well, it's dependent upon rain. A lot of it.
yeah, it is. So do you want to depend on that? Because if it don't rain,
Well, if it doesn't rain,
Then it's gonna be
definition of
crunchy out
pristine
there.
changes.
What would help is if we could
How about-
do a zero-scape on a
Attract,
lot of these grounds.
attractive. Yeah.
attract.
I like attractive.
Mhm.
Let's do attractive.
Yeah, because right now we're not very attractive.
No, it's,
It's getting there.
I mean, even if we did zero.
Well, I mean, some areas
Don't
are
talk to me
really
like
good.
that.
But you have to understand too, zero
Some
scale.
areas are very attractive.
It is.
The trails and stuff.
Well,
But,
you look at this
but when
one.
you drive on and see the
Part
Not
three, it's
unit
horrible.
one right
Okay,
now.
so
Yeah.
is
That's a
the
trail.
issue more about
Inviting or
maintaining-
attractive?
being able to maintain all of the grounds at one time,
Yes.
right? So maybe not choosing a word like attractive, but
Inviting?
fully maintained.
fully maintained. That's
I
what
like that, fully maintained, yes.
Right,
Okay.
because if they're all fully maintained,
They're
yes,
gonna be
throughout the year, then they will be attractive.
Yeah, and that's part of what some of the dissatisfaction I have heard from our members is that we don't take care of our lots that are ours. We don't maintain them, but we're doing it now. We just have to catch up. So I think that would be very good to say, fully maintained.
Fully maintained.
Yes.
All right, so moving on to let's dig into the 3-year picture. So you have your 10-year target. And now you're gonna have your 3-year picture, and then eventually we're gonna get it down to 1 year. So the new future date will be
Jan 28.
all right. But let's go through and decide where we're at on some of these and if these are reasonable 3-year goals, and if they align with the 10 years too. Pool fully restored.
Well, I mean, we're pretty much there. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but with the bathrooms redone and, you know, all of that.
So is it to a point where it can drop off the list? Like you're to a point where it's done enough that now we're maintaining it?
No.
Okay, so there's still projects.
Yes, the duck in needs to be fully done on the outside. It's falling apart. The bathrooms need to be redone. The
What?
grills
Just
need
do
to be
the bathrooms.
redone.
On the ducking.
Oh, you mean the bathrooms of the duck?
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe what's confusing is, as a reader, is it says pool fully restored, but we're talking about the whole
Pool and ground.
pool,
Pool and
park,
grounds,
park,
yes.
and grounds. Okay,
Yes.
and grounds.
The other main issue is that we have a consistent water flow.
That will be a
It's
challenge.
a big picture thing.
I wanted to put that in the 10-year, but I figured she'd let me.
Pool grounds fully restored. Okay.
Yes.
500 family recreation memberships. Okay, so you're saying approximately 100 presently, Lisa? Okay.
Yes.
So then that would be, in 3 years, 400 additional FRMs.
You can do it, Charlie.
Well, with some of the ideas I have, I think I can.
I have all the
That's the goal.
confidence that you can.
Okay.
You can't quit.
All right. Next bullet point. Restored trails. So the next one is restored trails, generating tourism. 3-year
That's
goal.
going to be
Working on that.
let me tell you something. Yes, Constance did give me some. It's a Texas Park and Rangers thing. I think you can apply for a grant that could come out and restore, but I need to have a grant writer. I'm not a grant writer.
But I don't think that's a bad 3-year goal, restoring trails and generating.
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They will come out, if we were to get this grant, they will do all our trails.
Okay.
And I have the links to it. I read it and everything. So that would be fantastic.
So
we could do that.
it's still, we believe it's attainable, and
Yes.
it also aligns with the 10-year target of having fully maintained grounds. So we're
Yes.
gonna check that one.
Yes.
All right. Creekside Restaurant open and profitable as a 3-year goal.
I think that's a very good goal. I don't know why they ever took it apart. I could slap them, but we'll fix it back up.
It's had a lot of iterations from us running it and it failing,
Oh.
and having somebody come in and run it but not putting the right guardrails on it, and then they left, and yeah. So it's kind of like a decision has to be made by the association whether we open a restaurant or whether we lease the building for a restaurant.
You mean at the Creekside?
Or wherever, yeah.
Oh.
We talked about contracting it out.
We did, but I've had some people look at the one at the Dickman, and it is the shape that it's in. It would be a few $100,000 to put it back
Not
where
big,
it's
but Creekside.
Easy.
A Creekside now, it could be. I mean, there is somebody that cooks here. I mean, it could be a possibility that we could lease it out. It is something we definitely should look into, because I really, just from what we're doing, the small amount we're doing right now, it's bringing in a lot of kudos.
And specifically this in the 3-year was a reference to the Creekside restaurant, as Memo said. And I believe the discussion last time was, again, what you've discovered was that the other building, Dickman Hall, to bring it back up to a restaurant capability was a lot of money. So
Yeah.
it's not reasonable within the 3-year goal. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody's good with keeping Creekside on the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's doable.
Restored, and that should be operational.
Oh, you jumped the landfill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Landfill expansion completed.
Do we want to put what we're working on now or no?
We're not working on anything on the landfill. I've been told.
we're just keeping on track with the 3-year goals.
He wasn't at the meeting last month. I was staring at him like, how could you not? He wasn't at the meeting
Working with
last
the
month.
city,
Oh, yeah, I was at the meeting.
You were at the meeting.
Yeah.
yeah, we were seeing if maybe we could partner with the city on the landfill. They're actually looking into it with their grant writers, and if we could partner with them to save them money but give us additional money,
I think
and then it would open up more.
That's damn sure.
Yeah.
3 years.
Right.
Yeah, at the time, I think it was, we
You're
were
right.
only looking at the fact that we needed more cells.
We
but-
need more sales, and we need to find the funds.
Yeah.
And they're looking into
But
it.
we've somewhat remedied that, potentially, some of that scenario, so.
Yeah.
If the city partners with
Just
Yeah.
don't
So
put
it's still-
expansion, not completed.
It says, okay, so you're proposing the lead expansion, landfill completed?
No, it's not completed. Well, it is
No, this
completed,
is
but I
a
guess
3-year goal.
3 years ago.
Landfill expansion, we're on 3 years. 3 years from now.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading it wrong. Yeah, my
Okay.
And
bad.
see, if I
Yeah, that's
recall,
right.
and if I recall, when we discussed this, it's coming back to me a year and a half ago. We didn't know half of the information at that time until we discovered everything.
Yeah, we
That's
thought-
why-
correct.
Yeah,
that's
we
why
thought we were
thought
going
we
to
needed to
expand.
complete it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but we don't-
everything,
it's not an
everything
emergency.
fell off the.
And we need to do it, but it's not an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Checking
there,
that.
look, restored and operation adult center, that's good.
Yes, so that's the next one, restored and operational adult center.
Yeah, it doesn't really say what, it just says restored and
Yeah.
operational.
I mean, at the time, it was operational, and I think it's, I don't know what our thought was then. I know that I hadn't brought
I
that
think our thought was then just to not,
up.
no changes, it was just gonna be not closed.
Yeah. And
But isn't it closed down?
Yeah, it's a wreck in there.
yeah.
Don't turn on the air conditioning, summer starts, and
Nobody's in there to turn the RC on.
that thing was killing us.
Okay, so then added 20 additional RV spaces.
No.
That's a 3-year goal.
No.
No.
We need to fix the ones we have. We have 80 spots, and they need to be redone.
But we want to do
What do
100
you mean,
spots.
electrically, everything, what?
Aesthetically. They have the I guess, what do you call them? Do you call them,
The slide outs, pop outs?
no, the form, or where they sit at?
The pads.
Yes.
What?
The pads.
Yeah, pads. I don't know why I can't remember that. But the pads, some of them are broken. They've got dead trees there. They're just not aesthetically nice to look at, or to me, anybody would want to rent it. Now, we just got the bathrooms redone there because David did it. They look beautiful. So we need to beautify that area, fix the pads, fix the area, maybe plant a tree in each one so there is shade, and then we can charge more money and get better internet. So I think we need to restore, or however you want to say it. I don't know.
What is the occupancy rate of the RV park?
It brings in as much as the motel.
No, I mean,
But I
like,
would like to see how full.
how
Well,
full is
Maybe
it?
30%.
When we have
Depends.
workers, we're booked full, but
Capacity,
Yeah.
which is more in the time of.
I think the goal then was part of what she's saying was not only do that, but to add 20 more spots.
Yeah, I think when we discussed that, it was more of making some of the improvements that you're talking about and then adding 20 more slots.
Well, I
Just
would make,
because it's such a revenue driver.
Electrical and pads.
but it really is not right now. Unless we beautify it and do the restoration to it and see if we can bring more money in.
Yeah,
And with
the
that income that we can do, then we could add more. But I wouldn't say do that yet until we get it fixed to where somebody really wants to pay that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think,
I see
I think the decision was timely because you pointed out during that time frame there was a lot more influx of
Yeah.
solar farm.
solar farms.
Yeah.
They're staying rented a long
Yeah.
time. It was more of a situation if we had more spaces, we could make more money,
Yes.
right? So that was
Yes.
the perspective of that decision and where Mr. Peterson also was coming from. And so since you've arrived, you haven't seen that. It's been strictly tourism, maybe, visitors, that sort of thing. And so you're not seeing where the capacity is not great enough.
What I think we could do is we could really make it look good and then increase the rent and then get more people. Because right now I want to market it, but it's really not aesthetic enough to market quite yet. So we need to do some work. That's why I had the bathrooms done, because they were horrible. But they're done now. They look beautiful now. So now we're going to increase the rent now because of the bathrooms. And then we need to use that to continue to increase the pads in the surrounding
And we
area.
do need to upgrade the electrical. We are at capacity with that transformer.
Was ever changed that?
No, it hasn't been done.
No, it's gonna be like 50 grand.
This summer's gonna have another block then.
We didn't this summer, because we didn't have
We
capacity.
didn't have capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, fix it back to the electrical.
Are y'all in agreement with China?
Yes.
Yeah, I think like,
Yes.
like a term like revamp
Yes.
RV park.
Yes.
And not add 20 additional.
So yes, we're deleting add 20 additional.
Yeah.
And that's not some huge capital cost either.
Okay, next bullet point, double existing revenue for golf course.
I don't know what that means.
And we would kind of want to know
Well, the
where we
existing,
were at a year and a half ago.
the existing revenue was like 118,000, and so we were talking about, I think that's, if I remember correctly, and then we were talking about doubling that. And then if you look at the 3-year goal on golf, it's 250,000.
Well, we are getting to a point to where we could maybe do that because of the changes that have been done to the patio, to the creekside shop, clubhouse, the Lost Moors room, with all the revamping that we've done. We can add additional revenue to that now, and then with the extra things that we're doing. So I could say, but I don't know what the total, I didn't look it up last year.
I think something I wish I would have done or we would have done differently is to have a dollar amount there.
Yes.
Because now we're going to struggle to say, well, what is double, right?
Yeah.
On the 1 year, like John was saying, it trickled down to the 1 year plan of being golf was at 180K. So anybody have data on where you're at today, presently?
Is that in that paperwork you gave us for November,
Yes,
the total?
just for November.
For November.
No.
Yeah, I can look it up and give you the numbers. As part of my 3-year thing was the golf course, rentable venues, motels, spring-fed pool, hunting and birding, bar and food sales, and membership dues have the amount there, and then here's what we want to grow in. But I didn't get a chance to get that far. Sorry, Brittany.
I'm making a note that we need a dollar amount.
Okay,
So
yes.
if y'all can dig into that, so we can keep moving, so make sure we get through everything.
I will get that information.
And then I would suggest then if y'all dig into the finances and the data there, and then assigning a numerical value to
Yeah.
here, and then one here.
That's the best act I've ever seen.
Historic district equals wow factor.
I agree with that, but we're gonna have to do something with part 3 to make it look better. Because that part 3 does not make the historical area look good.
Not anymore.
It just needs water.
Yeah, and water costs a lot of money.
No, I know, I'm just saying, it just needs water.
Yeah, but we pay a lot of money in water, and
Even when I was growing up, and we were getting quite a bit of rain through the late 90s, they still watered it, and it was green.
you know what you
all
could
the
do with
Green
it?
when I moved here.
You know what you could do with it? Which would tie in with kid stuff and adults? You can make a miniature golf area out of it. Then you don't have to do a lot of water, and you could have it in different areas, and it still would look really nice. And it still would be something that would be another, what do we
But
call it?
within the historic.
What do you mean, a miniature golf, like it was a part 3, I don't know what you're saying.
That's not a miniature
football
golf.
golf.
Like
I think we don't want to get into the weeds too much of solving the problem of like how you're going to get it done, because the 3-year goal is
how
the
about if we just-
historic district having a wow factor. Agree or disagree? That's still a three-year goal.
I agree. However we do it, I agree.
Right. So yes,
We want
we'll get
people
more
to
into
really
that in the
like it.
1-year plan. All right. So I'm gonna check mark that one. Admin courtyard complete is.
It is not complete.
It is not complete.
It's better.
But this
A
is
little bit better.
that's the 3-year picture.
Is that a 3-year goal or a 1-year
Yes,
goal?
it's well, if I have my way, I could get it done in a year, but it is going to be
I'll
expensive.
be within 3 years, it'll be fine.
3 years is
So it
fine.
has to stay on 3 years.
Yeah.
Admin building, public facing areas renovated. Sorry.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know.
So this building,
The first and the second story out there of the admin building, so when you pulled up, it wasn't
Well, she's fixed it
Oh,
out
like
because she painted the
painted.
sign and she put grass and all that.
like what you're gonna do to the hotel. That's what we were discussing about doing the admin
Oh,
building.
well, yeah, I'm waiting for some bids.
and interior, right? Like, because if you're drawing in guests to come in that area
Yes,
right
and
there.
that was
Oh,
the other
that
part,
was
when you
right.
were talking about cleaning up the outside and then walking into that office and
Into
it's
that
like there's a dusty 1901
Yeah.
soldier laying on the floor or something, you know? like making it nice and attractive on the inside.
Well, the front looks nice
Yeah,
now because of
certainly
the grass
gotten that
and the
better, yeah.
flowers, but the inside definitely needs to be,
Okay, so is it a 1-year goal or a 3-year goal?
I'm going to say it's
Yeah, I think this has to be
Okay.
3-year-old.
And we all agree, y'all are all agreeing it's important, so it's staying on the list.
Yes, it is
Yes.
very important.
I think it's very important.
Okay, and then docent program re-implemented.
What is docent?
So I think this was, y'all correct me if I'm
It's a volunteer.
misremembering, but it was shared with the group that a process was in place previously where if somebody was interested in being a member, that there were some volunteers that would take them on a tour, and it was kind of a program that helped sell memberships. People were getting tours of the port and that sort of thing.
So when we talked about that, we talked about having a 6-seater golf cart in the front of the admin building that you could take people around in and do,
We have
tours
one.
and stuff.
We have one.
We have one?
Yeah, golf course, golf cart.
No,
No,
one of those
6-seater.
6-seater things. That's what I remember discussing that when we talked about touring or not.
We'd have to look and see what the cost would be for that, but it would be nice to have one to tour them around in.
Yeah.
Do we consider
That's a
it high
3-year
enough
goal.
priority to keep on?
It's a 3-year goal or a 1-year goal?
I don't know.
I would say 2 years.
I wouldn't say it's a priority for a 1-year.
Not right
Not a
now.
priority.
Not right now.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if we do it, we do it, but,
Well, then leave it at 3 years.
Okay.
okay.
Or mark it off.
All right.
Keep scratching it out of there.
Okay. We're gonna just quickly run over the marketing strategy. Still on page 1. Last box.
Okay.
So target market. And this place is unique because you have multiple audiences. And so on the list, it was agreed upon members. So retirees, families, couples. Those are the people that are living here, moving here. And then you have your guests, which are recreation seekers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just semantics, but recreation feels like being
So
entertained.
this is marketing though. What, I'm just gonna ask this question, I don't wanna sound, I don't want it to come out the wrong way, but do we need to market to the people that are already here? Wouldn't this be to people that aren't here to bring in?
That's what they mean by the guests.
Well, you're still marketing to get new members.
Yeah,
You
it's
set-
about
you
new
set
members.
goals to have new
Yeah.
memberships, and you have to replace the
Oh, okay,
memberships.
so members
the members
is
that leave,
new,
right?
is
Yeah.
retirees now, okay, I gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
because the community is already 52% retired. So when we made that that list, it was just the target market for bringing in new members was to target retirees, families, and couples.
No, that's good.
And then guests equals recreation seekers. So,
Right.
who's
I was saying, maybe I'm just nitpicking, but does it adequately describe, do,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
because we don't have, water skiing to me, that recreation is like a
So
doing.
the pool would be recreation, right? But I think a lot of members have had great ideas about ecotourism and about heritage tourism, so that's history. So I understand what you're saying.
But is now all still just recreation?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Sorry, John.
You, John.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
My feelings aren't hurt. I'm just going to look the definition up.
Leisure seekers?
Ah,
That sounds like.
You don't have to be limited to just recreation, so if you guys are comfortable adding
naturists.
Recreation. Activity done for enjoyment when one is not working.
Naturists could be misinterpreted.
Okay.
All right, but if you had a brand new marketing person show up on your door and said, I'm going to work for free, like you have to be able to tell them, like, this is what I want you to go after, right? So, and explain, you have to, we're trying to, in very few words, have a document that explains what FCSA is all about and what your goals are, combined into one document. So, I don't disagree with you, John. You got us on a technicality.
Yeah.
But.
Damn.
Outdoor.
That's in your budget?
You could do relaxation.
Easy, killer.
Oh, I'm going to say recreation, relaxation, and I'm just looking at some of the ones that I looked up.
Well, we've got this grand historical feature.
Can we just leave it as recreation, just take out seekers out? It's just an all-encompassing word.
As John has pointed out.
Oh, how about if we just use a different word for seekers?
Or just take it out.
Enthusiasts.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
a good
there.
word.
There you go. Recreation enthusiasts.
He's got his thesaurus out.
I was waiting for the opportunity.
You know that word sitting up there.
Okay, I think I'm okay with that because your next one gets into the details a little bit more, Lisa. So kind of what we're talking about. It does say recreation, amenities, nature, wildlife, history.
Yeah.
So
Those are all
you
the
still
things
have all
we
the
have to
details
offer.
there.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
but then, yeah, I mean, that didn't need
So
to
I
be.
think everyone at the table is, yeah,
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so.
all right. The proven process, we have left that as to be determined. I mean, that's, and I don't know that we have time to dig in that today again either, but how are you going to get it done?
Well, number one, a huge marketing.
We got our innovator here.
Yes.
She's not going to quit.
Why does everybody keep thinking I'm going to quit?
It's on the record now, so.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be here
Recording.
15 years.
If you quit, you'll be sued for quitting.
Now you're
I mean,
now
we've got you for 15 years.
All right.
10
And
years.
so the guarantee, member guarantee is community, tradition, and good times, and the guest
I don't like the word good times.
the guest guarantee is so much to do, explore, can't possibly fit it all into one trip.
I like community, I like
I
tradition.
still like all of that, yeah.
I think good times sounds kind of,
Fiesta.
No, all I can think of
No.
is a
Good time.
I want to do a little disco dance.
We're getting off.
tradition.
What would you replace it with? What do you propose be in its place?
Let me Google. Sorry, I have to
What's that
Google
French
stuff
word?
like this.
Let the good time
If
go.
we have to Google it, it's like,
Oh,
does it really
is it
matter?
something
As long as we
about-
understand
There
it.
we go.
Bon roulette.
Bon roulette right there. Let the good time go.
60 seconds?
C'est le bon temps de day.
All right,
Hey, we're under the French at one time.
enjoying tradition.
We were?
One of the Six
Oh,
Flags.
Louisiana.
One of the French flags flew over Texas.
Recreation instead of good times? I mean, it's
Tradition.
Did you say recreation?
We can guarantee him nature.
Relaxation.
Well, oh, you could put
Discovery.
oh, I like that. Discovery. Discover. Because you're discovering new things. Why are you laughing?
Let's go with that one and move on to the next one.
Community,
Okay, so we're
tradition,
having
and
good times?
discovery.
Oh,
You could say community, tradition, and entertainment.
Oh, entertainment's good too.
Okay, entertainment.
Discover
We're
your
not gonna
inner,
entertain.
discover your inner self.
Oh, God.
okay, let's
Dial
on
it back.
track. On track.
I'm trying to throw up.
It's hard. I just want to say it's hard to stay focused for this long, so I'm proud of y'all.
I like discovery.
I'm focused.
Y'all are having fun, and that's good too. But
Back on track.
everybody seemed okay with good times except you, Charlena. Does
Yeah.
anybody like any of Charlena's
It
replacements?
makes me think of the sitcom on TV, Good Times,
That's what we
which was
Well, they have counseling for that.
corny. Sorry.
You can have this thing on
Okay,
the wall. Don't
what?
worry
So
about it.
fun.
Just put entertainment. I like entertainment.
Fun.
Pleasant experiences.
Oh.
Hey, quiet in the audience.
Intoxicating
The cheap
discovery.
seats.
I didn't say that. I was talking about memories.
About relaxation.
I like relaxation too. Community, tradition, and relaxation. I like
All right,
entertainment.
I'm
though.
going to say we're
Yeah.
going to put a question mark here, and then
We're
circle
gonna
back.
circle back.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back.
All right,
So-
we'll have an email vote.
I'll do a very good time. I don't think so.
All right.
One pleasant experience, just don't
Yes.
come to a board meeting.
Guest guarantee.
And moving on.
I think there was buy-in on that guest guarantee. So much to do, explore. Can't possibly fit it all into one trip.
Yeah,
I like that
I
one.
still think that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Now we can sit back and she gets to figure out how to make it all happen.
Thanks.
No, there's
But I
another
ain't typing
page.
all this up.
No,
Oh, there's another page?
we're doing we need to do the 1 year goals, and then I'll explain what rocks and the issue list are, and then those two things will be
You know, I
for
don't like the
Charlene
last
to
part.
have her take on. Okay. All right.
Good side.
So the future date will be January 2026.
6.
Because we're gonna start, this is gonna be from 2025, right, moving through the whole year, so then everything, the future date is January 2026. Our goal, our hopes is that this will be done, okay?
Well,
All right,
obviously,
so-
if I have to stay here for 18 years.
Yeah, you have to.
This is just year one.
You better hope everything's handicapped accessible.
So can we go through the gross revenue real quick? Does anybody have
Yes.
data on
Yeah.
that? So this was a year and a half ago. We were hoping that by the next time that y'all have this meeting, the hotel would be at $420,000 in gross revenue.
Yeah, about half of that.
I got the 2025 budget. I think we'll get it right now.
So I guess if we're gonna look at it, what would be the?
If I was gonna look at it, I would say it's about 200,000, 250.
What's conservative?
No, that's about what it is from what we just sent when our,
Income or revenue?
revenue.
200,000?
250, I think it was. Because we have that on the insurance that we had to send for our general liability.
Okay, so then knowing where we landed, then what is an appropriate goal?
You know, I think we were basing that off of the profit the year before had been like 350 or something like that, and we thought maybe we could get higher.
Well, and if I remember, Peterson threw those numbers out.
That's correct, but
Yeah.
but I think that if we could have if we could have a 20% increase over this year, which we'll just call it roughly 300,000, I think we'd have been pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we
300,000.
could get to
Yeah, I
that.
like that.
And then the RV park at the time was making 250, so we were counting
No,
on.
that would be about correct.
Yeah, that's about right.
We hit our goal.
Yeah.
So then, our goal next year will be 275?
Don't get crazy.
Can I make a suggestion? I think as data points, if you could look at some historical data and see, obviously the springs have dried up, Right,
It
and
made an
there
impact.
was historically a lot of tourism in the summer.
Yes.
So if you could go back in time and see what chunk of money was being made during the summer for that recreational tourism, and then you might have to kind of, that way you could have those data points and say, you know, if we have water all summer, then realistically, like,
right.
here's our goals, and then if we don't, then we know we're going to take X percentage hit on that.
But we had 250 with 2 years in a row, no water in the summertime for the most part, so 250 would be realistic. If we have water, maybe 275?
I'd say maybe more than that. I would go to 300 if we've got water.
Okay.
Definitely.
This reminds me too, like, it's a year and a half ago, but I mean, that was something that was being discussed, right? So there was some creative thinking, and if we don't have water, because the pool has always been such a driver for tourism, if we don't have the pool, then what? And so the corporate retreats, I think some of those ideas came out of what can we do also, so that we're not so self-reliant on
Just the money from
the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hunt last year made $32,000. That was it. We have already surpassed that in 2 months. We are at almost $40,000 for October and November. So the goal for 135. So we've got December, January, February. I would say 100,000. I'm not going to say 135 because we just started marketing and really working at it. And I think we had trappers the last few years, but that also affected.
This number included trappers?
No, it included, no, I can't remember if we had taken it off by then or not, but it certainly didn't include spring going dry, because spring going dry dramatically affects.
I don't believe we took trapping out until I was on the.
Charlena moved it onto the hunt as a data point.
What?
The hunt is
The hunt.
135K.
Yeah, I would say we should
She
do
moved on to that, but you're referencing the springs being dry. Is that
No, I'm referencing the hunting.
okay?
Okay, well, you did trapping.
I can't, did that include the trapping? I can't remember that part. I don't remember.
Well, Lisa said that they weren't hunting; they were just trapping.
No, we were hunting
No,
trapping.
we were
were you?
hunting too.
Yeah.
Well, all we made last year was $32,000 for the whole year. I looked it up.
But that was after we cut out the trapping.
Yeah, because we were running out of deer. So the trapping was there was like this the hunting was doing pretty well and pretty sustainable, but then the trapping came along and it did really, really good, right? But then the trapping started going up and the hunting started going down.
Yeah.
And then we talked to customers. I can't remember if it was Patrick or Lisa gave me a list of people to call. And I called all these hunters that had hunted with us previously. We talked to them. They're like, we're never coming back. We hunted for 3-4 days. We didn't even see a deer. Well, we started looking at all of the data that Matt gave us. And he said, hey, it's how many hunters I had. This is how many deer were harvested. And this is how many animals were trapped per month and all the money and all that BS. And it came out to essentially that we were trapping all the deer. And so then hunting was either not going to be viable, so we made the decision, hey, let's not do the trapping because it's hurting our ability to potentially have hunters come in, stay at the hotel, eat at whatever restaurant is here, buy gas at this gas station, and all of that stuff, and potentially buy a house, be an FRM, yada yada yada.
Exactly.
So we said no more trapping. It's just going to be this.
So I believe this 135,000 included trapping.
It might have.
Just over.
Yeah.
I would say right now because I guess we really are marketing it and we are getting a lot of hunters in and they had to kill almost every day last week. So I would say we're going to make 100,000 next year. I plan on doing hunting packages. I would love to at the RV park.
So you're going to be here next year.
Well, I guess 18 years I was told, but if I could get 2 cooks for the hunting season and offer a lunch. Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
I
have ideas. 135 is good for
Okay, so you like 100,000.
So she's advocating for 100. Does anybody deem that unreasonable?
I think that's good.
Okay.
I think that's good.
Okay. All right. So 100 for that, and then we have RV and golf. RV was 250K.
That's fine.
We were gonna leave that there.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave it as is, okay?
Mhm.
Golf,
Golf, 180.
is that realistic?
No. I would say 125,000. For right now, we still got a lot of work we gotta do out there, so. But we are getting more and more people, like Megan today, they had 27 people today for that golf tournament. She said that's the biggest she's seen.
I think, was it 27 people or it was 27 teams?
Teams.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, teams.
Can you estimate where you landed for, since we're now kind of working on calendar years, so
27
I
times.
know you wouldn't have December finished out, but like where you expect ballpark to end 2024 for the golf course?
But it's in my house.
Gross revenue?
Let me look at the whole thing and I can email you.
Okay.
All right?
Because I think, no, that's fine. I think it would be one of those situations where y'all were discussing earlier, taking that number and then saying, okay, 20% more, or whatever you deem,
Right.
like we're gonna try to push it, we're gonna bump it up.
Because I really think after all the stuff that we've done, like the pump, the heads, all of that, that big cost is gone. We've got a good crew out there in maintenance. We've already done all the work at the creekside on the patio, so I really feel that 2025 is going to be a great year.
Yeah. It's definitely got a better foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, so what also made it onto the 1-year goal, so moving down through what we had last time, was the pool area fully restored. So it was
So I think that was
fully restored for 3
specifically,
years, and then pool area fully restored was 1 year.
I think that was the finishing off what was being done with all the,
With Los Morris.
And that's
With the volunteers.
with the, yeah. So that was accomplished.
So if your 3-year goal is pool grounds fully restored, right, everything down in that area, and then
Yeah.
you briefly identified, for example, the deck-in, that certain things down there need to be fixed up, is there anything then, moving towards that 3-year goal, that you would assign to the 1-year goal to move it towards that?
Well, Russell will probably know more, but I know we need new trash can barrels down there.
Yes.
We need to restore,
All
I
the
think
benches.
some of the benches have been, all of them need to be done.
They're bad.
Oh,
Okay,
that Warren's working on that right now, isn't he?
so 1
He's
year
just working
goal.
on benches. I should say picnic tables. Some of them are horrible.
Okay, so 1 year goal could be the trash cans, the
And
picnic tables, and maybe replacing some of the barbecue pit things. Just the square
Sounds
deals.
fair.
Is there any room to attack anything on the duck-in, or that's gotta go?
Will we do the bathrooms at the duck, you think?
Can
No,
they-
we need new siding. It's falling apart.
Okay, the siding first.
And we need stools because we had so many people love the stools that they got to sit around, right?
You know, that's not a big building. The siding on that building wouldn't even be probably $2,500, and then paint, like, it's really not that big of a job.
No. Maybe we could get it done this year. I'd love to see it done before when the season opens. And then
So picnic tables,
get that margarita machine out and have margaritas on the weekends because that'll make some money.
Well, even if we didn't replace the well, we could put the margarita machine there.
all right, we're getting in the weeds.
Okay. I don't want to get in trouble.
Maybe
If
stick
it's
with
nicer,
the
does it make more money?
maybe stick with
Yeah.
the fundamental
If
stuff.
it's nicer, it will make more money.
Just
And
do
we
the
need a new AC in there.
Just open up the windows.
Now
That's
you're
a
making
window
$1.
unit.
It's $1
That's a window unit,
We
right?
need something better. It gets hot in there.
So how about
I'll be right.
exterior picnic tables and trash cans?
Exterior picnic
And the
tables.
grills.
But
Trash
just
cans.
throw the grills out in lieu of, because it's not a lot of people use them. Yes, I know it needs to get done, but in lieu of trying to get duck in shored up.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay, I'm good with that.
So if there's just 3 things that we focus on really getting done down there this year.
That's
Sounds good.
reasonable.
And what were they?
The duck in, the garbage cans, and the picnic tables.
Yeah. The duck in as far as
I don't think you should
exterior.
abandon the grills.
I was talking more of the ones
Did you
we
just
right
volunteer?
now.
No, you misunderstood.
He wants it done.
Duck-in, garbage cans, and then
Picnic tables.
picnic tables, okay?
Now, that doesn't encompass the picnic tables at Rendezvous Park though, does it?
No. I haven't seen anybody over there at all the whole time I've been here, but
Well,
maybe next year or this year might be better.
We used to rent it out for reunions and corporate picnics and all that kind of stuff, but without the picnic tables, we don't rent it out anymore.
Oh,
How about this, improve the maintenance and cleanliness of the pool area?
well, we're already gonna do that.
As the 1 year, is that what you're saying instead of saying specifically?
Okay.
Or maintain.
Wouldn't that be?
What would be the improvements?
Picnic tables, duck in,
Including picnic tables, duck in,
trash cans.
Okay.
trash cans, and barbecue grills.
So I was thinking of the big one that
Sneaking it in.
we rent out, that big gigantic one over there, cause we rent that out a lot.
Oh, at Rendezvous Park.
Oh, really?
No, the one that's right down from the duck in, the
The
big one.
pavilion.
Oh, that one's used.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's what she
I
said.
thought she said fix it up.
Well,
It needs it, it's
was
falling
fixed
apart.
we did the rock and everything, but we need some welding and some
The
metal.
grills are
I
falling.
thought Mike said they were gonna.
I already talked to them and that's not happening.
They're gonna paint the roads too.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
Oh,
back on track. Some things y'all are identifying are for the issues list, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, so what came out of that conversation was improving the maintenance and cleanliness of the pool area to include the duck-in, garbage cans, picnic tables, and then Tony snuck in it's at the very end too.
That's okay.
He didn't like the barbecue.
So I need a vote on
He's
that.
delusional.
A vote on that.
I'm good.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Barbecue pits in parentheses.
It's a goal, right?
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
Gotta shoot for
Aim high.
Aim high.
Aim high.
Hit the middle.
All right. So the 1 year goal last time was 100 family recreation memberships, but you said we have that.
Well, that was an additional one.
Additional.
Yeah.
We have
So that
100
would
now.
be 200, so I need to clarify that.
Yeah, we've had 100. We kind of hover right
Maybe we should
around.
shoot for 50.
Let's make the number total, because I was confused by that, so I would say
okay.
I would like to correct that,
Okay.
so that we have like grand total.
So do 150.
So 150.
Okay, we're at an hour and a half.
Okay.
Are we
I just
gonna-
want to go fast.
Do you want me to set a 30-minute?
Sure.
Okay.
Trails labeled, and 50% of the trails clear. So John can.
If we can get a grant, that we might be able to do that.
Where do we land? I guess where are we at today, so that y'all can make a decision about where you want to be a year from now, as far as the
Wait,
trails.
John, didn't you do like 50% or 25%?
I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask.
I know you were out there with your machine.
I know, but I don't know.
You went around behind from the pro shop
I don't know how
behind.
many
Some volunteers have been clearing up.
trails.
Volunteers have been clearing up a bunch of area in the back area too.
How long ago?
Within the last 6 months.
And he did it within the last 8. I mean, it overgrows along
Yeah.
the edge really quick, but the big stuff, he got down on some of the main.
I mean, I'll commit to
You been
doing
on
what we
trails?
did before.
Not a while.
Jason would know.
I'll commit to what we did before. I think we cleared around 5 miles. I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it was 5 miles, something like that. It may have been more than that.
They would shoot for another 50%.
If I would get to speak to somebody,
Well, let's just shoot for another 5 miles, because I know we can do that.
Okay.
they can do that.
Do it.
Which is better than nothing.
5 miles just do 5 miles trails cleared.
Curious, does anybody know a data point on how many total miles there are of trails?
Well,
Well,
Russell
it all
said
depends
earlier it
on
was like
what's
40, but I don't know.
5 miles is a lot, John. Are you sure you did 5 miles?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a long ways.
Okay, that's fine.
We went to town.
Then we can.
I don't know.
Well, not all the way to town.
I know that you cleared also that area by the golf course,
Because it's.
the golf club.
it's organized.
And that's part of it.
Well, and
that's part of it.
he did, by the creek and scales all the way down to almost to the front.
To the, yeah,
Well, it's
Red
a goal.
Bridge,
Okay.
Red Bridge all the way up to here.
I think something we learned from last time too is being more specific and clear in the goals. So maybe a different way to look at it would be to, what are the general names? Like, are there certain, like maybe pick a certain trail that's mostly used or something like that? Would that be an idea of like setting a goal to have X trail cleared in a year?
I don't know.
Like the most used
Well, I
trail?
mean, I would say
or-
the most probably used trails are the ones along the creek.
Yeah, the one that you did that went around the Red Bridge is used a lot, and then the one that loops around by Scales, and
I seldom
then
go.
to the walking bridge. Those are the big ones.
Everything along the creek, right? From Red Bridge all the way up to the front here.
Yeah, what you said.
What's really been pissing me off lately is the highway. Like that, all those little mesquites and all that, where you come past the REA and it's all right where the property starts on the left is like, it gives me a high blood pressure when I see it. Like, you know,
Nobody's stopping you.
I think when we come down Highway 90 and you look at the creek, it should be manicured along there, you know?
Oh.
It should be nice. And coming from the other side, it's just all that black brush and stuff coming down the hill, that's fine, but then you get to the Los Morris. And from there, it's nice to Rendezvous Park to the office, right?
Yeah,
To the entry gate.
yeah,
But from the entry gate,
the other way.
yeah, towards 131, that's pretty bad. So I don't know, if we were gonna do advertising, put new signs out, clean up all the front and make everything look better, man, it would look so much better out there.
So taking this discussion and driving it back up to the 10-year target, the 3-year picture, that sort of thing, right? And you have your multiple audiences, so members and guests. So John, I mean, has a good point about the way, the aesthetics of what it looks like driving up, and there's been discussions previously about, you know, people don't realize they can come on here and making it feel more inviting and that sort of thing. And so then maybe can y'all strike a balance between a little bit of that, and of course we have to meet all goals for, you know, something for the membership as well, using the trails. So, but I'd like data points so that way when y'all look at this again next year, did it get done, yes or no? Check.
Well, it doesn't have to be mulched again, clearing the trails in the same manner that we did the first time, because we had to take out all the dead stuff laying on the side of the trails and all the overgrowth and all that. So going down them now is more like mowing the lawn. So I mean, that would, if that's what we were gonna do, it would go a lot faster. So we should be able to tackle other trails.
The other trails are the front.
Yeah, and the front, yeah.
The area
The
that you're
front
just
really
talking.
needs to be
Yeah,
done.
because we were having to mulch up dead trees that were 18 inches around. That stuff takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
And now it's clear, it's just you're gonna have whatever seasonal growth that comes up, so. be a lot
Another
faster.
data point that would be helpful for y'all to make a decision on that would be how much is volunteer done and how much is supported by maintenance. Cause John being the volunteer who's done that in the past, he could say, well, I'll commit to X, right? And you can weave that into the goal, but what can be done from your team realistically in a year? So y'all need both those data points, and then you can decide what's achievable as a goal.
Okay.
Could we afford contracting some of that work out?
no,
No.
sorry,
Sorry.
And do we even have the capability for our
no,
maintenance team to do the
No.
things?
no.
Okay, John, so what is your goal for next year? What will you donate?
Just like my 2 machines here a day is $5,000 a day. That's what I would charge a customer. Just having 2 skid steers here a day would be $5,000 a day.
They we have to borrow one to dig 2 ditches at people's houses.
If you rented one, it would,
Well, why don't we realistically just say we're gonna do the whole front, so it looks good as people drive by? That we can do.
Is that
that would
more?
lower my stress level, yeah.
The others, we can
And
work
it
on
might-
as we can.
And it may go
Quick.
further than we think
Yeah.
at attracting, and it wouldn't hurt at all to put a sign that says visitors welcome.
Oh, well, we talking about signage, that we're gonna put signage.
I'm not getting in the weeds on that, I'm just saying, with the cleanup,
I
Yeah,
would love to clean up the front. Where
I
all those,
think-
where that deer trap used to be and all those mesquites are growing in and all, I would love to.
and then
clean
we
that
have
up.
like those gigantic, all cut up trees that have been sitting there for 8 months that nobody's moved, that they cut up.
And if we burn it, would we be in violation of TCEQ rules?
Burning trees.
No, you can burn on private property as much as you want, as long as there's not burn ban.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
as long as there's-
So we're not gonna have a percentage of trails cleared. Everybody's in agreement.
We're gonna do some.
Well, no, it
Through
sounds like
volunteer
he's-
efforts,
Through
we're
volunteer.
gonna clean up the front area. What's the
Now, I
best way to
might be
say
able to
that?
get Lean Clay to do, because they have been doing it for the hunting.
I think trails labeled is certainly attainable through
That I
volunteer.
think we need to do definitely.
I think that could be done through volunteer work.
And
That's,
some of them are, some of them have been,
Yeah.
you know, maybe not
Maybe
to the
one
best
method.
look, but they've been spray painted on the little brown signs, you know, golf shop this way.
The guys who put the cement over there on the bridge on scales, they were cleaning the trails. I forget the guy's name, but he was with Warren.
Yeah.
and then I would just say, you know, like,
I propose front acreage, and then I could put Highway 90 as a
yeah,
reference
just do like
point.
3
Cleared-
miles of new
yes, Cleared and
trails,
maintained.
3 miles of new trails, and clean up some of the front.
Okay.
Okay.
And signage.
He's, and it have a sign on the side, just a 3 miles, okay.
Yeah, we'll
That's
be
it.
careful with the sign.
Okay, Creekside Restaurant open 1 year from now. So, talk through real quick what you accomplished in the last,
We sell hot dogs there now. That's something.
okay.
Except they're
And
not-
hamburgers.
Yeah.
And that was a Peterson goal.
Yeah, the hot dogs aren't really being sold.
They only did it once.
Do it.
They only
I
did
thought we
it
bought a
What
once.
do you
machine.
did what once?
They only had them for sale once.
No,
Mother
they've
did it.
been for sale.
Well, she told me they sold out.
Hot
Are you guys
dogs?
talking about hot dogs or hamburgers?
No, not hot dogs.
That hot dog rotator machine that we bought,
Yeah. No, the problem is it takes, 20 minutes to get one heated up, a hot dog. So if she puts them on and nobody shows up, they get thrown away.
Oh, yeah, right.
So they only put them on by request and they haven't really had many requests.
Do we have a microwave?
Over there? Yes.
that'd be better for hot dogs.
Okay, so for Creekside Restaurant open, it is open,
It's open.
check, okay. Is there any, so light fare is being served, hot dogs and hamburgers?
No.
They used, they made hamburgers on the time you went out there, she cooked them there on the gas grill. 'Cause we have
So
a gas
Blanca,
grill.
So what would be
Cubs.
the goal for them?
And we're
Yeah.
selling
I
great.
know, I'm trying to move quick, I'm sorry.
Improve the offerings at the Creekside Restaurant.
There you
Something
go.
along those like those lines.
Food offerings?
Food offerings,
Yeah.
yes.
More food offerings, more food offerings.
Yeah, cause I think we have to get the grill working, cause the grill got taken out. If we got the grill put in, we would be able to cook more things, like hot dogs and hamburgers in there, and some other stuff, but if the grill isn't in there.
Is
my
it,
understanding, right?
is it
No, that
only
was gotta-
open while, what are the hours? It's only
Every
open,
day.
Like,
what, when there's golfing?
Yeah, 7 to 7 or
Okay.
7 to
Yeah,
6.
so
or-
somebody
it's
could have
open
dinner?
7 to 7 right now,
No.
7 days a week, yeah. Huh?
Not dinner, they can't have dinner. Not right now. Are you talking about in the future?
As far as like hours, could somebody attend for dinner? That was,
So,
but there's nothing to serve for dinner presently, but the hours, it's open late enough to 7 PM. Okay.
And right now, Blanca is like doing Sundays sometimes and offering burgers or things like that she cooks outside.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have real.
My feedback on improved food offerings is it's a little loose as far as like what is the actual
We're
goal.
leaving ourselves some space.
So something to, I guess, issue process and decide. What does that mean in that way?
maybe
can
we
move in
should,
that direction.
maybe
Even-
we should put the goal down is to get the grill back in there.
Return grill.
Because otherwise we won't be able to cook food if we don't get the grill in there. I don't know what that would entail though. I haven't
Who's
looked.
doing this cooking?
Well, that's the other thing. Who's gonna do the cooking?
If we
Are you gonna have a
get a
server?
cook to do short order cook, which is not expensive, to do food and we do it maybe twice a week instead of every day, we don't have to do it every day. You know, cause Heather can do nachos and small things like that and chili, put chili on the nachos, cause all you need is a crock pot for that. you know, she says that sells good.
I think,
So-
I think that's an interesting direction that makes it a little bit more specific. So if it's presently concession fare, I'm just trying to come up with a name for it, type food offerings, right? And then you want to move towards, like you said, short order,
Yeah,
you know, food fare, then that's something that's more specific.
Sure.
That requires the grill, like there's
Right.
things, actions that you could take to get to that point.
I think that's
So
true.
everybody,
yeah, because now that they got the storage in the back room, it leaves room in that kitchen. You know, I just don't know.
Figure out
what-
someplace else for the,
fun fact
ice
about
machine.
John,
Takes up.
he was a short order cook in college, so
So was I.
if you ever need it, there you go. We got some cooks right now.
Dual,
Yeah, that's what it used to be.
cook off.
It was a whole,
It's a
And
whole
then-
thing.
it's always a whole thing.
1 year is source funding for landfill project. I would say y'all are on track based
Yeah.
on,
We're working on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we can leave that. Y'all have made progress towards that goal. Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Okay. Admin courtyard completed.
Working on
On,
it.
on track, I would just leave it on there.
Think you can get that
Completed
in a year?
within a year?
Yeah,
I'll try, because all the bids that I got to do it the way it should be done is like $7,000.
Can we get a bid for 3,500 to get that done at least?
You mean like get half of it done, is that what you're saying?
Or do as much as we can for now?
I will try.
Okay.
Do you want this half or that half?
In the middle.
In the,
Okay. So I would suggest probably with that one, then at some point you'll have a
Can we-
discussion,
Can
which
we
we don't.
not put completed? Can we just put
Contract.
improved.
improved? Improvements made for the year. I think that would be less stressful.
We're here to lower your stress.
Nah, I don't think so.
Can you name any specific improvements really quickly?
So we got the fountain going. There's a leak in it that needs to be fixed, but I wanna get the arbor portion fixed. So we can put that, I'd like to get, I was gonna grow some stuff on there, but then my landscaper killed it all with, weed killer. Cause I wanted to grow jasmine up there and then have market lights hanging there. And maybe the one area, have more grass in that one area.
Maybe you had a girlfriend named Jasmine years ago.
Ah.
Oh, look, just out of curiosity, the wood, the replacing of the wood would be how much? $7,000? Just the wood part?
Oh, I don't know, that was not in the bid, it was putting all grass here, half of it with rock,
Okay.
redoing, putting new plants all over.
Then we can just do the wood this year.
Yeah, that would be the best thing, cause it's falling apart.
Okay,
Grass isn't that expensive.
so, okay, that's good.
I can
And
get the
that would
grass
be,
put
that would
in.
be something that would then make it more rentable too,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So, okay, so do you call it an arbor?
Yes,
Okay. Is it replacing it or repairing it?
Improving.
both.
Okay.
You said improve, that's why I said improve.
We're complicated.
it's complicated.
Whatever, we'll go on to the next one.
Alright, north, so specifically the north end of the parade ground restored.
Okay, I'm the worst with north, south, east, and west. Is that
That's
where
the
the
other
flag,
side.
is that where the flag,
I just,
is that where the flag,
no.
No, it's the
No.
side closest to
We're on the
the
north side right now.
admin.
This is the north side.
You're sitting on the north
I
side.
know, but I,
north side?
but is this side of the par three right here considered part of the parade ground?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's, oh, it is. I
Oh, so
thought it was behind
both
like.
sides.
Both sides
Oh,
are
okay.
very
You
good.
you jumped across, so, you know, 4.5
So-
holes are on this side, 4.5 holes are
So
on that
right in
side.
front
I
of the
remember that,
admin is
but I
the
thought it
north
was
side?
like if you took
Yes.
the,
Okay.
if you took the southern part past
Mm.
Mr. Ward's house and you have the gap there, I thought it was like the north end of that. But
No.
you're saying it's this chunk that's right out front of the
Uh-huh.
admin building?
Yes,
Yes.
because if we were gonna restore it to the par 3, he took out one of the,
Mounds right here on
Yeah,
this side, okay.
yeah.
But he had our permission.
well, he didn't
Not
ask,
mine.
he didn't ask, he
I don't-
asked to
I just don't
use
think
that
that should
dirt,
be
not
on
take it out.
I don't think it should either, that is just gonna be way too much money, and
Well, and it's north end parade ground restored level
Remember?
with irrigation, and that was a Peterson goal.
Cause I don't recall he was interested in putting the par 3 back. I remember
No.
it being like where he was wanting parade ground, so back to that would be then like leveling it, right, so it was
Yeah.
flat, and then, so that was where that came from, leveled with irrigation.
Take it
I,
off.
I don't see how we can get to that.
No, I
can't.
think we should remove that.
That's just a big project. And I think it needs a lot of thought between us all and
Maybe
a
can you
realistic vision, because putting a par 3 back on there is just gonna be too much money for water.
Lisa,
Honestly.
in agreement?
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
Um,
So, I just want to take a moment, since that was removed, right, on the 3-year goals, the historic district equals wow factor, right, which would be unit 21, right, and so that's not just the parade grounds, but that one-year
that on
goal
there.
was a step onto getting that done. So if you're gonna take that off, I don't know that there's anything else that's a 1-year goal that drives you to that 3-year goal. Does that make sense? So is there something else that you would wanna work on? So you don't, if there's not enough time to work on it this year, and maybe not next year, well, then it's not really a realistic 3-year goal. But maybe there's something, I mean, there's a lot of area in the historic,
You know about the wow factor?
the wow factor, I
Yeah.
mean, there's over by the horse, like that's where some of the events are happening, where Fort Clark Days happens. And then, you know, that would also go down to where the museum's at, so, you know, if you imagine a tourist or a guest or members walking, I mean, that's a large area. So is there something else in that area that you guys propose to work on as a goal to improve the wow factor?
Well, there was irrigation by the empty saddle that's still there. Because that used to be green, because we used to water
I
it.
saw pictures of it.
We paid,
Yeah.
we paid
Maybe.
over $10,000 for that about 10 years ago, and I don't know what happened to it, but I know it's there.
I think a line
It
broke
used to
and
be-
they just turned it off. I mean, that's
It
just
probably
what
would take that much
happens.
to fix it, because Sanford came over here and installed that whole system.
I think that would be nice to restore that
It's
area.
there,
Because that's like, right when you're coming in,
yeah.
you
There
know.
you go.
And maybe
That's
those
it.
picnic tables.
Yeah.
Membership paid a
Yeah.
lot of money for that water system.
It's a good idea. So are you saying for the 3-year?
No, I was reminding everyone that there is a 3-year goal for the historic district to have a wow factor. And so the only 1-year goal that existed was, from the last time, was the parade ground restoration. So when
That
y'all
would
took
be-
that off,
yeah, that
we're
would be
gonna replace it
included
with
in the
something
wow,
else.
right?
right, so what
Yeah.
else are you gonna, like, what 1-year thing are you gonna do
We're
for that?
supposed to
would
fix,
say
we're
the
supposed to fix the
saddle.
theater.
Oh, the theater
Yeah,
too.
we're supposed to fix that.
Okay.
But from the outside,
The
Looks the
outside
same.
is
The inside.
nice, I thought
The
that.
inside.
right, but as far as the
Oh, the outside's okay.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen in this year. I can't see it. We've
We
got
have the
way
wood.
too much,
We have
huh?
the wood, we have the wood.
You're gonna go put it in?
Yeah, or have to.
Okay. Write them down. Just gonna restore the forest.
He's gonna ride the horse.
What memo reference was interesting, saying that, I mean, if the irrigation is already in place and it was
Yeah.
just an incident where it broke, you know, that may be a very low cost, small fix with a high return if you're then able to water and that area looks nice.
So just put in like investigate irrigation system at the horse.
empty saddle. And then the bushes are dead over there, so we would need to kind of like re-landscape
That way
just
we-
that area right there. Maybe put some other lights up there and
Which means that if we do, let's just say we were to do that next month, which we're not, but then 4 Clark Days comes, and then they trample all over it.
Well, but trampling all over it now is just walking in nothing but dirt. I mean, if they trample all over the grass and it's healthy, it's not gonna hurt it.
But we also have to get somebody to work on the empty saddle itself because that's falling apart. The strap
statue?
is getting icky and it needs to be cleaned and I have to find somebody that does that.
Stop
Russ?
finding problems.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you've identified an area and then, so we have repair the wood floors in the posterior, which does make it a lot safer and more
Yes.
usable, right? So that's awesome. And then, the empty saddle
Yeah.
area, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then y'all are gonna have to issue process that, like, and investigate how much is it gonna
Yes.
cost, that kind of thing, and then decide what you can accomplish.
Okay. That works.
Sanford has the records. County View Valley.
Okay. For
The water system in front of the,
Oh,
they
okay.
installed the system there.
Okay, so going through number 8, completed projects, website redesign.
Done.
It was redesigned, but it needs,
It needs some
needs some
zhuzhing.
more work.
It
right,
needs
so
a
the design,
redesign?
no, the design transfer happened, so it looks prettier, but the content, page by page, needs to go through and get the outdated stuff up to
Is
date.
that just maintenance?
That wouldn't be maintenance,
That's just keeping
it's
up
like
the
a next
website.
level of,
So like website updating?
Can Cassie do
the
that?
content needs
She's
to be
gonna
updated.
be doing that, yeah.
She'll be able to bring it, push it up.
So specifically, all website content updated. So that
Yes.
would tie to photos,
Yeah.
making sure the photos are up to date, and then the written words.
Yeah, any
That's
stock
what I
photos
like.
and stuff like that.
Stop pointing at me, stop pointing at me.
And then,
Well, Cassie can.
and then build a minium up and operational.
Build a minium, I have no idea what that is.
The concert
Build
plus
it.
scratch.
Build it,
Delete concierge
whatever.
plus replace with build.
In my brain, it sounds
Building,
better as
okay.
build a
Building,
minium.
yeah.
Building, yeah.
Build dominium.
You said it's taking up and running back
Spell
to
that,
us?
please. Building,
Audits are on track,
Okay.
right?
content.
I don't think we can go live in January, but that's a conversation we'll have to have.
Don't say that. Whatever you're gonna do needs to wait till, I don't know, don't say that.
I'm sorry, which one are you guys on?
Adam,
Yes, ma'am.
are we almost done?
With oh, with
Building?
Buildium, we're on track to finish it tomorrow.
Thank
Yeah, or at least my data entry portion. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
QuickBooks operational,
Yeah,
done.
That's done.
That's peerless.
And then audits back on track.
done.
Done.
You, okay,
Sorry,
I'm gonna
I'm
push,
taking my
I'm gonna
kudos.
push back because I was at the meeting, and so I would say, not done yet, but you're going to get it done, right?
What?
Like, cause you still owe the one from a year prior, and then you would be on track if you deliver the one in March that's due
Coggins.
as well.
I mean, if you wanna split hairs, yes. No, well, we are on track, because they've already started the one that's due in March, and the other one is this month, we'll be done, so we're on track.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's technically in January.
Because we're not starting until January, so we'll be on track.
Okay. Is there anything, since those are that's awesome, 2 big projects, is there any other projects that we know going into the next year? Under this section, completed projects, like that?
It'll be completed, is that what you mean?
Projects that are ongoing, that you wanna set as a goal for completion?
Oh,
You know-
we gotta get new internet
Mhm.
Yeah.
and new phones.
You know, at the time we did this last traction thing, and I don't know how we can state it, we owed, there was a lot of money owed, stuff that was outstanding, and we cleared all that up. And that's why the books are much better now. I just put it all under the audit, I guess, but remember we were writing a check here and a check there?
Oh
The people were
gosh, it
calling
was every
in.
month, it was like $8,000, $9,000 lawyer
Yeah.
bill, like where'd this come from? Yes.
So financials, I guess financials are, I would be current,
Mhm.
are we current?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
for
where
the
we
first
weren't
time
at
in a
that
long
time. We
Yeah.
weren't current,
But we didn't know it.
we know it now.
It was like dun 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 dun.
Number 9,
I see no. I,
I'm gonna modify that maybe, since there was the idea of.
I would
That's a-
say
common
still
property.
researching the FUDs, because I looked at that, website where you could apply for that, but I would have to have somebody sit with me because it
I-
was very,
Well, my understanding is we did apply through FUDs, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Peterson said, but then they never got a response, and then he reached out to some politician and never got a response.
He said that he
That's
wrote-
what I've been told.
He said he wrote both senators and we never got a response.
Yeah.
I think at the extreme at this point, it can be going down the line that you're going down, like, okay, if we can get a grant from the government or whatever to come remove it, that's fine. But to put that that funding on the back of the association, saying that this is necessary to reopen the adult center. I don't believe that at the moment. If it's in the basement, and
It's in the basement,
it's
it's not
insulation
necessary.
wrapped around pipes.
Yeah.
By definition, it's not gonna hurt anybody.
It's not. I worked
So-
on a military base for 13 years and they have asbestos everywhere, and as long as
Yeah.
it's encapsulated, there's no danger, and nobody's gonna be going into the basement. All we
Yeah,
need
so
to do
I-
is get the building itself where people can
Fixed
go
up,
in
yeah.
and see, fine. So,
Okay, so tying that, so that was probably tied again back to that 3-year picture, maybe even the 10-year goals of improving the common property. So if somebody's proposing to strike that from the list as a goal,
You mean we have to add another one? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, but that's only a little bit of a common property. That's encompassing all common property, not just that building. So if you just get that, it doesn't take that common property part away.
no, it doesn't, I'm just saying, are your 1-year goals aligning
Oh.
to track with the 3-year goals?
So, where's 3 years?
What,
It's
I would say, what kind of cleanup can we do at the adult center that's,
We've had somebody inspect it, and they were supposed to talk to her about it.
I got it. Admin building, public facing, renovating, that's on there. Let's put that in that place, because we need that admin building, our admin cleaned up.
The
It's
front.
gross.
The front.
The front, and
Yeah,
the
the
inside
The
lobby,
lobby.
you shouldn't walk into the lobby and feel like you're,
like you're gonna inhale a ton of mold and,
yeah, something like that, yeah.
We can rip out the carpet.
It should be nice,
yeah, inviting.
Can you get that this year?
If I can get volunteers. David Mann, Warren, they're my buddies.
They're gonna start running when they see you.
Yeah, eventually.
I could
They're
talk
gonna
to
tie
them.
a bell around
They
your
are
neck.
constantly asking me for projects, and that might be a project they might wanna do. You know what I
Alright.
mean?
The last renovation
let's
was the
put it on there
countertop.
then.
The countertop was the last renovation, that was about 10 years ago.
Yeah. So,
And we took out the carpets about behind the counter, about 5 years ago.
how old is the carpet in the lobby?
More than 10 years.
That's gross.
I'd say stain and
This
polish
one
the
needs to be
cement.
done too.
That's what I said.
I would love that, and we
Yeah.
can just get some throw rugs. I love the cool looking of our cement.
Yeah.
I think it looks fine.
So that's improving the interior of the main office lobby
Yes.
as a goal? Okay.
Yes.
And then, I guess the point that I was trying to make was that, so if you go to the 3-year goals, you have restored an operational adult center.
Oh.
So then are you putting anything on the 1-year plan that's a project to get you towards
You know
that
what we
goal?
could do? It has to be cleaned out
Well, that's what I
before
was
you
saying,
can
like,
do anything in there.
can we get all the, when
Good
Lisa and I
though.
walked it a year ago, there's old workout equipment
Yeah.
that I'm not even sure
It's not
anybody
good.
would use.
No,
Well, the
they
universal's
won't.
good still, and I thought they were gonna transfer it over to the health center. It is good.
But
It's also compartmentalized, like you have,
Yeah.
you have 3 compartments to it,
Yeah.
so to speak, like, so you could phase it, maybe?
I
Right.
think
But
cleaning
make
it out.
usable for members,
Yeah.
one section?
I
We
definitely
need to get a
think,
roll off, just get a roll off, take it over
Yeah.
there, get a bunch
I
of
think that would
volunteers,
be
and
the
we'll start
best
hauling
thing.
crap out of there.
Yeah,
because the minute you get all that stuff hauled out, then you can look at it and say, okay, this is what we need to start
Yes.
doing to get it
yes,
to where
and
it
then you
needs to
could, you could
be.
go and tackle maybe, let's do the 2 rooms with pool
Yeah.
tables in them, and let's do this, not that much, that's not that much money.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of sweat equity, right? Okay.
Yes.
So then how shall we write that down, so we can have accountability for that?
Clear it out.
Clean out?
Clean
Yeah,
out.
clean out of the adult center.
Yeah.
Review and clean up.
Clean out and like identify next steps or,
Okay. Just, if y'all will scan the 3-year goals real quick, and then is there anything else that you think we need to notate as of, like, 1 year? And then we'll wrap up.
I don't think so.
Well, let me ask a question. If we're doing this, you have the 1 year and then you have the wow factor. but we took the parade ground restored off of there. So is that gonna affect that?
But we were substituting that with
The
the
horse.
horse.
Oh, no,
and-
that's okay.
And
Yeah.
Okay,
and
okay.
admin.
Oh, yeah, that's historical. Yeah, okay,
And
gotcha.
the
All right,
auto,
just wanted to make sure.
this area,
Well, we're at 2.5, or 2 hours, it's gone on.
Okay.
We're at I'm just being time.
just
Y'all
like-
looking at me like.
This
It's
is-
like every
But-
executive session.
By the way, this is really hard to accomplish this amount in this short of time. This is a lot, so y'all did great.
great
It's a
minds.
lot to go through.
You can
Um,
laugh, Francis. It's okay.
Okay, just before we close out, so there is rocks and issue list, and I can talk more with you about this later, Charlene, if you want more information on it. So, taking the 1-year plan, then you identify rocks, which are smaller goals that are moving towards your 1-year goals, right? So you would then kind of dig into these goals that are assigned, so duck in, or let me pick a different one, that would be easier.
Oh, the duck in.
Okay, so let's do with the last one we talked about, clean out the adult center and identify next steps. Okay, so you guys already kind of started, so you would determine what the rocks would be, so, okay, we need X amount of days to go through and clean out, we need to, 2 roll-off dumpsters, like whatever, you say, okay, we're gonna, this month of next year, we're gonna work on this project, and you set up the task list, who's gonna help with it, that sort of thing. So that's how you break down a rock. And so you're gonna do that throughout the year and tie rocks to each of these goals so you can make sure that you're getting them done along the way. The issues list is a great tool because there's always issues. Like there's not necessarily tied to goals. Issues pop up throughout the year, all kinds of stuff, right?
Not around here, we're smooth.
And issues aren't bad, it's life, they have to be addressed and prioritized, right? And so it's a great tool set, and there's even structure in the traction book for running more efficient meetings. Even, if you had a manager's meeting and you had an issues list, everybody brings their issues, and you identify which ones are the most important ones, and you all tackle them together. Everybody has different expertise.
It works really good.
It's, John used it at a former job that he was employed at, and so did I, and it's exceptional tool. So, yeah, but we can talk more about that if you wanna run through it. But those, and then you could report on them too, like the rocks. You could start reporting on them to the board, to the membership, saying, and then throughout the year, then you're tracking. And it's not like the end of the year, it's like, oh no, we didn't even think about this one goal that we had set.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps keep everything front of mind throughout the year.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Thank you.
taking the
appreciate your time.
and keeping us on track.
Yes, and so I will take a task to type all this up, send it to y'all for review, and y'all can discuss any edits and then finalize it, and then we will do like we did last year, correct? Publish it out to the membership.
Yes.